Hello, hello everyone. Happy Monday. It is YouTube Live with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and if you are here, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and then also make sure that you leave a comment so that I know you're here. Say hello, and let me see if I can get hello Verna, hello Deb. Make sure I'm up. I can see myself yapping. All right, we are going to dive right in so that we can get to the crafting. But first, I wanted to remind everybody about you can officially sign up now for the World Card Making Day. If you want, I'm going to hold this up pretty close. You can see. You can hold your camera over that little QR code and you can register by going there. And let's see. What else is there about that? There's a kit. That's not for registering. I'm sorry. That is for the kit. That's for the kit that goes along with this free event. But it is a free event. When you go on to Stampin' Up, there is a little place for you to do that. Hello, Angie. For you to register for it, just so that they can send you the link. They just kind of like to know how many people are watching, so that is a good thing to register for. And then the kit that goes along with it, you purchase that, and then you can craft right along with them. The next thing is the paper share. Make sure that if you want to get a sampling of all the papers that have just come out, that is in the new annual catalog, as well as the new online exclusives. There's a link in the description of this video for you to register for that. I am waiting for the next batch of papers to come in, and once they get here, I will get the newest batch mailed out to you. For those of you who have never done my paper shares before, all of the paper, like this one is a 12 by 12, it is cut to 6 by 12, and then each pack of paper that you receive, so it's a fourth of a pack of the paper, each one that is mailed to you actually comes in a sleeve that looks like this right here. It comes in a 6 by 12 sleeve. I had to order more of these, and it is labeled with all of the information here on the back. It gives you the colors that are included in the paper, as well as the name and the item number, and then the price of the actual paper, so that you can order a full pack if you end up liking it a lot and using it a ton. So that is all about the paper share. The paper share is $45. And again, that includes the papers from the new catalog, as well as the new online exclusives that came out. Okay, the next thing is the Spooktacular class to go. This class is $50. It uses the Spooky Halloween bundle. You can add the bundle on at cost, which is $45, but the class itself is $50. It includes 6 makes and takes. You get a pack of paper. You get these really cute iridescent bags. You get ribbon. You get, let's see, embellishments. And then, of course, you get the ribbon. Oh, I already showed you that. And then you get the full pack of paper. So, again, that is $50. And the link for that is in the description of this video as well. All the classes and things that I have should be in the description of this video. I double checked it, but sometimes it's still not right, but that's okay. So that is the Halloween class. The next thing, I'm gonna actually put it down on the table so that I can tell you about the retreat. I am gonna keep the make and takes for the retreat a secret until after I get them all mailed, because I want it to be a surprise to those who are ordering it, but I want to show you some of the products that are actually going to come in this kit. So I'm going to put you down onto the table. I'm going to move everything around. It's going to be like a mystery box. All right, let's close our eyes and let's see if I can get this in here. And I don't know if it's straight or not, but we'll figure it out after I move all the stuff, right? I'm going to see if it'll let me zoom out a little bit. Nope, no zoom out. Okay, Fall Retreat. Fall Retreat is $125. It is all to go, so you get a full PDF of the tutorial. My plan was 10 cards. We're at 12. So we are using and focusing on the bundle, which is called Beautiful Pumpkins. I love pumpkins, so of course when I started designing, I can't stop. So the retreat is going to have 12 cards, 12 make and takes with the full tutorial and pictures. And I am probably going to do this as a Facebook Live, or not a Facebook Live, but a YouTube Live as well, because, well, there's so much more that can still be done with pumpkins and all that wonderfulness. So far, well, this should be the end of the actual Stampin' Up! Products that are offered within the retreat, as well as there are other things that you get too. So the retreat is actually going to include a little, I think it's like right at $70 worth of actual Stampin' Up! Products. And then it's got some other cute little things in there. It's going to be like a little basket to kind of keep everything in as you are creating for your fall retreat. And then that will come in your box. And then you're also going to get a couple other little things that I think are great for crafting. So if you are interested in the retreat, you can order that. Again, the link is in the description of this video. Let me make sure all that's there. Yes. So the paper share, the Halloween class, and then the fall retreat. So the fall retreat is going to include 2 embellishment packs. So it's this one and one other one that I've had to order because I want to add to 3 of the cards that I created. A different embellishment that I fell in love with, and I didn't order it. So I ended up ordering it with the last paper share stuff so that I could add those to the cards. You're going to get a full pack of this right here, which I know is a Christmas greeting mix and match, but this back here is stunning. And green and gold and basic beige, all of that goes with pumpkins and all of that fun stuff. So it can be used more than for just Christmas. And so this is going to be included in the pack as well, because 2 of the make and takes are using this. Then you're going to get the Early Espresso and Old Olive Linen Thread. So you'll get a whole pack of these because your make and takes are going to use that, as well as some linen thread. And then you're also going to get this, what is it called? Irregular Weave Trim. We're going to use this tonight, as well as both of these tonight too. This is like a mesh, and now it is very coarse and it's very hard to tie bows with, but I absolutely love it, and I think it's perfect for fall. So you're going to get a whole bolt of that. Then you're going to get 2 full packs of paper. Now, this is a Christmas paper, but y'all, the paper inside of it is perfect for some fall stuff too. And this is the Traditions of Christmas. So you're going to get a full pack of this, and you're going to get a full pack of the Greetings Together designer series paper as well. So it's coming with a lot of stuff. I promise it'll be well worth it. I am having fun putting it all together, and so I cannot wait to send it to those who have already registered, because I think you're gonna love it as much as I do. One of the add-ons that you can do as well is the bundle itself, which is $36. And then another one is the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, because I do use this in the retreat, but any of the make and takes that do use this, it will already be done for you. But if you'd like to have it for yourself, you can add that on as well. And those add-ons are at cost only. So just know that. Hello, Melissa. So that is Fall Retreat. Fall Retreat is probably one of my favorites because, well, it's fall. And of course, because I was in the fall mood, tonight we are going to play with Gathering Moments, which is all about the leaves. This was almost the retreat, but I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I love the die cuts for this, you can use the twine or the linen thread, and you can actually like cross stitch with this. I wasn't sure I would have the patience to come up with all the cards and then do videos and all that stuff on it with that. So that's why I went with the pumpkins, because I also love the pumpkins. But you can, with a lot of the cards that have been created, you can actually switch it out for any leaf bundle or any bundle that has like your pumpkins and all that stuff in it. So it's very easy to kind of mix and match and switch things around. Hello, Nancy. So we are going to play with this tonight. No, we are not threading anything through these leaves. Not at all. We might at a later date, but not today. All right, so let's go ahead and do our first card. This is our first card here. We are using a lot of colors this week. There is a full, not a full, but there is a blog post on the cards for tonight. So make sure you head over there and check it out. That blog post will give you the measurements of the cardstock and measurements of the products used. And then it'll also give you a link for all the products that I did actually use to create both cards tonight. So let's pull out this. And this one is a simple one because we're not going to die cut anything. We're just stamping a lot of stuff. So we had to make it easy for myself. All right, let's start by doing our sentiment first. And we are going to stamp it. Now, I will say one thing I do love, the Gathering Moments has some really good sentiments in it. Expressing heartfelt gratitude. Your friendship means the world to me. Like, those are some good sentiments. So, I definitely recommend this bundle. Okay, so we're going to stamp that. And then while we've got the pretty peacock out, let's go ahead and stamp this here. We're going to stamp one up here. And the center is going to be covered, so you don't need to worry about, you know, this center here overlapping or anything like that, because it'll be covered up with the crushed curry piece. Okay, so we've got that. And while I stamp it, I'm going to go ahead and clean them as I go, because we're going to need these for, oh, actually, I think I already stamped them for the next one, so you didn't have to watch me do that. Let's see. Let's do Pretty in Pink, or Petal Pink. Let's do Petal Pink later, and let's do our pumpkin pie next. So we're going to ink up. We're going to do up here. And then we're going to come and do down here like that. Okay. And then we're going to do garden green. Is this garden green? Yep, this is garden green. And we're going to do this leaf image. We're going to do this one up here. And then do there. Okay. And then let's do this little sprig berry. I'm not sure what it really is. And we're going to do this one over here like that. And then we're going to do it right about here. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to do it right about there. Okay. Then we're going to take real red and we're going to put in 2 little mushrooms, because I thought these were cute. And then we're going to do this one down here. Okay. Now, we're going to kind of fill in. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Melissa. I am going to change. I'm not changing anything. I want to fill in these kind of blanks here in the background. It's a lot of white. So what we're going to do is we are going to actually take the crushed curry and we are going to ink up this image here. It looks like a waffle cone to me. We're going to ink it up. We're actually going to take our crushed curry piece. I'm going to stamp it on the back, and then we're going to stamp it up here. And so it's just giving it a little bit of definition kind of in that background. It's giving it a little extra, but it's light enough that it's not overpowering. And I am stamping in some of the areas as well. And then let's do like right there. Okay. Then we're going to take Petal Pink, which is an odd color to pull, but I felt like the Petal Pink worked. And we're going to take and stamp this one. And this is like a lot of dashes. And again, we're going to stamp off. And then we're just going to kind of fill in some of these areas. Do there. Oh, ink pads there, Amy. And then we're going to stamp there. And let's do right here. Okay, I think that is good. All right, so then we're going to flip this over, actually on this side. Let's go ahead and still take this side. We're going to take some of our adhesive, and we're going to run the adhesive across. And then we're going to stick this in the middle. And it looks like I'm going to need to, well, there we go. I think this piece might be a little too big, but we're going to go with it anyway. I felt like I had really gotten those down. Before we do that, let's stamp this guy up a little higher. And then I'll be comfortable with covering up that bottom one. Let's do that. And let's do him up here again. No, we'll leave it like that. Okay. All right. Then let's adhere it right here in the center. I think that'll work. That's good. Like that. And we just want to make sure we get it straight. You can use grid paper to do that as well. All right, then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to trim off the sides. Like that. And then do this side. We could have probably done it at about 1 inch, but it'll be, or 1.5 inch maybe, but I think it will be just fine. All right, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to take and cut our ends on our sentiment. So we're going to go up and then in. And then there we go. Then we're going to flip it and go to the other side. We're going to go in from the outside and come over here and go in from the outside like that. Okay, and then we have our sentiment. Then we are going to take our beautiful new linen thread, and we're going to do the early espresso. Hello, Sharon. You're never too late. No, no, no. Never, never. And we're going to hold some down on this end, and then we're going to wrap it 3 times. And I know that this is like a smorgasbord of colors, but I feel like fall is nothing but a ton of different colors. So I feel like when you have lots of colors, it works really well for fall. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna trim off a little bit of our tails. Oops. And then we're gonna take our sentiment. And when we do our sentiment, we're actually gonna do something to help us so that it will straddle over our linen thread there. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put one up top there on that side, and then we're gonna do one on this side. And now that linen thread is gonna be there through the center, so your sentiment's not gonna wobble. And we're gonna stick it right there. Ta-da! Okay, now we're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna put it on our Pretty Peacock card base. So let's add a bunch of dimensionals to the back of this. Because, you know, you gotta have lots of dimension on a card. All right. I know, Verna. I wish, you know, I need to go to the suggestion box and I need to type in that they need to have linen thread in every single color that they offer for Stampin' Up. That is my personal opinion, and I feel like everybody should be there along with me on it. Okay, last but not least, let's add our embellishments. And these have been around for a little while. These are Opal Rounds assortments, and I love these. We've used these a lot in class, in-person class, because, well, I just like the colors. And we're using the one that kind of has like a yellow hue to it, which I think helps kind of, with the crushed curry, it makes them look a little yellower too, which is so much fun. All right, we're gonna do one here. And then let's do one there and another big one down here. Okay, there is card number 1. Ta-da! They did it for the... Oh, exactly, Deb. Exactly. That is a good thought. I like that. Maybe I should add that into the comment, right? If we have two-toned cardstock and everything, we should have linen thread in every color too. I like that mentality. I love it. Okay, second card we're gonna do tonight. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the inside in. Let's add that. You gotta have the inside, right? You can't go without it. Because this is a little dark to write inside of. Okay, there we go. Okay, our next card, I'm gonna have to say, I absolutely love, and this is it. It couldn't hurt to try, absolutely. Thank you, Sharon. So this one here was kind of an inspiration from a card I did years and years ago. The only thing is there was obviously, it was a different embossing folder in the background. And this was a little different. It wasn't a banner. It was just like a, I think it was like a scalloped. So I kind of was looking through some old cards that I did many years ago for a fall class. I think it was like wasn't a retreat or anything, but it was like a to-go class. And I loved it. So we're bringing it back in a little bit different fashion. And we, of course, are going to use the new party banners. And another reason we're using the party banners is, I don't know if I've showed this to y'all. But my beloved nested essential dies, I am missing one. The one I use on everything. And so Amy is now using the party dies because I have no idea what happened. I have ordered a new one, so I'm sure as soon as it gets here, I will find the one that is missing. But I have not found it as of this weekend when I went through and cleaned and looked again. It will be the third time I have gone through and looked at everything. So, you know. Okay, so this one is going to be using a lot of our basic beige, which I think is a good fall color as well because it's not stark white. And this gives it a little bit of a brown hue, which is good for fall. So we are going to stick that there. We are going to take and put this up with dimensionals. Deb, it is. It is a good embossing folder for fall, for sure. You could even probably do, I saw a demonstrator over the weekend, or maybe it was today, who took an embossing folder and ran it with Versamark and then put gold embossing powder over it. That might be a little bit of an idea because that would be perfect on this to give the raised areas a little bit of gold shine to it. Oh, I think that would be gorgeous. But I was not about to redo the card. So we're going to just stick with the embossing folder. Oh, I know, Nancy. As soon as the new ones get here, it will like pop right up on the table somewhere, I'm sure. Right in my face. Okay, we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, I've already stamped all of the leaves. We're just going to cut out the leaves, the additional ones we need. But I've already done these. You watched me stamp them on the last card, so I didn't feel like you needed to watch me stamp them again. But we are going to cut out these since we didn't cut out on the last one. For this, though, we are going to actually stamp our sentiment because one of the things I noticed with this sentiment, and this is just a tip, is the font isn't necessarily a straight font, but I didn't want it to be wonky on an already cut out banner. So we're going to stamp it. And it's of course stamped in Secret C because I think Cloud Cover and Secret C go perfect together. And again, it makes it a great fall card. So we're just going to stamp it down like that. And then we're going to die cut it. Because I just knew that I would never get it the way I would want it if I first die cut and then stamped. So we're going to bring in our cutting machine. I'm going to move everything out of the way as much as possible. And we're going to put that there. And then we're going to stick this in. And we're going to cut this out first, and then we'll do the leaves. All right, so there's that one. It gives me a little bit more cardstock left. Yay. All right. So there is our banner. And then let me put this in there so I don't lose that one. Whew, we do not want to replace those dies. Okay, so next we're going to take our Gathering Moments dies and we're going to pull out all of these. One really cool thing about this is this one here, this little image here, does have 2 dies to go along with it. So you can stamp more of those to add little extra spriggies in. Okay, so we've got this one. So we're gonna line it up and I'm gonna tape them down just because my plate is nice and used and I don't want them to move. And then this one's gonna go here. Another tip for these dies is to line up your stem and then adjust the top part to make sure it fits within. But I noticed it does better if you line up by the stem first. All right, and then here's this one. We'll stick that there. All right, and then one more. And make sure we've got them all lined up nicely. We'll run these through and shake the whole table while we do it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna slide those off like that. And then put that back away. Okay. And these are still good. I can use those probably once or twice more. And see, lining it up with the stem gives it the perfect white border around. Let's make sure that one worked. That one did. Okay. And then we've got two more. And here we go. Okay. All right. So then we've got those. Before I forget, let's go ahead and add this into our inside. You could even take some early espresso ink and you could do some flicking on the front, which I think would add in some extra detail and awesomeness for sure. Okay, so we're gonna take and pop this up as well. So we're gonna add that, and I'm gonna knot over, dimensionalize this because we're gonna tuck a few things underneath, and so I need to be able to do that with there without having, you know, dimensionals being there. So we're gonna add this to the card front, and I'm gonna move it a little bit further over this way. We're gonna go about there. We're gonna take this this leaf here, and we're gonna add it across the top like this. And then we're gonna take this one, put some adhesive on it. Then we're gonna take a mini dimensional. Always good to use up your mini dimensionals too. And we're gonna stick this one right here up like this. We're gonna take our Cajun Craze one, we're gonna put adhesive on the back, and we're gonna tuck this one in like this. And we're gonna let it hang over our side just a little bit. Okay, then next let's grab our little one right here. We're gonna grab some glue dots for this one just because it is a little tinier. And then we're gonna adhere this by tucking it a little bit underneath like that. Well, maybe not. And it looks like I might need to add a glue dot to the end of that one, but we're gonna see if it, I think we'll be okay. Okay, then this one we're gonna do again with the mini dimensional at the top and adhesive at the bottom. And that's gonna go off like this. We're gonna tuck it up like that. And I'm just kind of tucking that stem underneath. Okay, this one is gonna go like this. Let's put that there. So we need dimensionals on the side. So why don't we take this, Let's see, it'll be this side here. There we go. And then we'll put adhesive on this side. It's all about see how you can make it work. We're gonna tuck this a little bit underneath there like that. We're gonna take this, and I'm gonna actually tuck this one up underneath there. So let's do glue dots on it. Like that. And then let's tuck it. Ta-da. Okay, and then this one here, we're gonna stick down here, kind of like there. So we just need adhesive. Let's pick this one up real quick. There we go. All right, now we are gonna take that really coarse ribbon and we are going to tie a bow. And again, it's very coarse. I mean, like, it is hard. And so you just do a bow the best you can with it, in all honesty. It is, you can still do one. It just takes a little bit longer. Those of you who don't like bows, I would not suggest doing it. And you gotta pull really hard to get it to work. You gotta manipulate it. Make it do what you want it to do. All right. And it will probably end up being bigger than you really want it, but it's fine. You just go with it. You just go with it. Okay. Then we're gonna take our glue dots and we're gonna put 2 on. Even though it's a smaller area, we're putting 2 because, again, it is so coarse. You just wanna make sure that it adheres. And then we're gonna stick this right here at the edge of that flower and then, or flower, there I go again, this leaf, and then you'll have your Cajun craze sticking out at the bottom. Okay, last but not least, we need to do our embellishment. And where did I put it? I know I brought it over here somewhere, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Hold on. Nope, I did not. I still had it in the other stack. Okay. And these are Cajun craze, so it matches that kind of leaf there. And I think it brings out that Cajun craze color just a little bit more. All right, let's see if I can get that to flip. There we go. We're gonna do a little one here, a little one over here, a big one down here, and then a medium size here. Okay, and then that is card number 2. Oh, thank you, Verna. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that is number 2. And let's see, where did I put number 1? And then number 1 is right here. And then I will have a 3rd again this week. And I will have a live on Friday. It will be at 5. I almost missed it again last week, y'all. I don't know what my problem is. I think my brain is just tired by Friday. But I will be live over on Facebook on Friday at 5 for a 3rd card using this bundle, Gathering Moments. And I hope you'll join me then. And thank you everyone for joining me tonight. If you have questions, let me know. But again, make sure you check out the blog and all the fun stuff I have going on right now in Simply Elizabeth Crafts. And I'll see you next time. Bye.